Welcome back with a new video. Today we're doing the speed tier list. Finally, we're at the end, right? We're at the end goal. Don't expect another tier list for attributes until next year. Maybe the same time next year, just because I don't want to do it around the anniversary. I do, but I'd rather wait an entire year for the whole entire meta to shape up, right? So, gonna be waiting until next year to do the tier lists again. Now let's continue on. Now, disclaimer, just like I said in yesterday's video, gotta say it again. This list is based off of IT, GQ, and Epic Raids. There's no reason for me to look at PvE when almost every single unit in the game nowadays can clear PvE content, and obviously we're doing the top 10. So more than likely, every unit in the top 10 can be able to clear PvE, no problem. So that's why my lists are the way they are. They are based off of those 3 game modes, because realistically, if you're not farming the point event or Chronicle Quest, you're farming one of those 3 game modes, realistically. So, let's get into it now. Let's start off at the good, just not top 10. Also, another disclaimer, gotta say this. Just because they are inside the good, just not top, does not mean they are not A or S tier. Just saying that right now, or even in auto, right? The units in auto and good, just not top 10. Just because they are there, does not mean they are not S or A tier. I only leave S and A tier specifically for the top 10. Otherwise, you know, if I did put it up there, it'd be a whole jumble mess, right? That's just how it is. So, disclaimer, keep that in mind, that just because they're not inside A or S tier, does not mean they're not A or S tier. So, let's continue on. Now, like I said, every unit in auto, good in auto, and good just not top 10. They're good, they're usable, they're viable, right? They are still playable to this day. So, let's continue on. Number 10 is going to be Dark Rookia, movie Rookia. Now, she is a fantastic unit. I love her at 5'5". I sim for her, but I can't be biased towards her just because she does have a lot of problems with herself. So, let's look at her real quick. She is a Soul Ripper killer with weakening on everything, Berserker, Bruiser, damage to weakened enemies, and Havoc 20%, very, very good. Nullify range resistance, very, very good for Senkaimon and GQ. And on top of that, she has Debil 5 seconds, Devastation 40%, and Status and Disabler versus Soul Reaper. So now, her problems really lie on her strong attacks. Her SA1 is going to be the 60% mag. Not a lot of people like it. I think it's okay. It's not the worst. It's not the best. It's okay. I don't mind it. Her SA2 is going to be the same thing as our book Ichigo's SA1 and Bankai Shuhei SA2, and her SA3 is going to be a full screen. Her innate skill, she does have Sprinter, and then on top of that, she has Fire Duration. Very, very good for this specific IT. So overall, she's a very, very good unit, but she has a lot of problems with her kit. Epic grade wise, she's okay. She's going to do decent. In terms of GQ, you could use it for 2 weeks. I don't recommend it though. Her kit's not that great, but I do recommend her. Yeah, she is actually very, very usable for when it comes to range Soul Ripper weak, because her SA2 is actually very, very good, and obviously she's ranged and she does get that extra range damage. So very, very good. And in terms of IT, she's perfect. She's absolutely perfect. She's literally made for IT. Overall though, I think she's a good unit, but her kit does hold her back by a lot. So number 9 on the list, it is going to be Spirit Society Y Ichigo. He is actually I don't want to say the only NAD unit on here. Obviously, you guys know the other NAD unit, but he actually deserves to be up here. I think he's a fantastic unit that came out for the speed attribute in terms of NAD units, because they are very, very lacking in my opinion. But they did pick it up in this last year. So let's talk about it. So, Spirit Society, why did you go? Weakening on everything. He does have the debuff skill on his special, which means he has a 88. He weakens their defense by 80%. Which is phenomenal. On top of that, he does have a walking vortex around him with the SA2. SA1 is going to be a 1200 by 1200s, whatever, don't really care because he does have guard break. And then his SA3 is going to be a full screen. Overall though, perfect kit. Very, very good for a NAD unit. Now let's talk about his skill. So he has 20% damage as a Link. On top of that, he has 30% Bruiser, so therefore he has 50% Bruiser with 40% Berserker, damage to weakened enemies 20%, Debil 5 seconds, Flurry +1, Guard Break Poise, Sprinter +1, and Strong Attack Recharge 12%. So you can build this unit as a full recharge if you want to, if you just want to spam the SA2. Overall, he's a very, very solid unit. When it comes to Epic Raids and GQ, he's absolutely busted in both of those. But when it comes to IT, he's only not that great because he is a melee unit. If he was range, it'd be a different story. But since he is melee, not that great in IT, but he is going to be the best options when it comes to Epic Raids and GQ. So good. I highly recommend if you do have him, go play with him. He's actually really, really good. And I do think he is worth the investment, especially when it comes to no affiliation week in GQ. There's not that many options to really use for a NAD unit if you can now nuke all the way to the final boss. Overall, good unit. Top tier. I love him. Very, very good. Next, number 8 on the list is going to be Baz B. Yes, Baz B. So this unit right here is the only other avant-garde killer that we got for speed. The only other one is 1,000-year blower Rookia. And that's really about it, and that's pretty bad if you think about it. So Baz B came out in the year, when did he come out? He came out 7/31/2020. So he came out on 5th anniversary. No, wait, no, this is not even 5th anniversary, is it? It is 5th anniversary. Yeah, he came out around 5th anniversary, and we have not gotten another Speed Rancor killer since 2020. We are in the year 2022, and Caleb has not given us a Speed Rancor killer since then. Don't know what they're doing. Hopefully they change it soon, though. So let's talk about Baz B real quick. He has burn on everything. 12% recharge, Rancor Killer, Berserker, Bruiser, Havoc 20%, Debil 2 seconds, Devastation 40%, Frenzy +1, Sprinter +1, and he does have Disabler, which is phenomenal when it comes to IT. He did age well in my opinion because of that Disabler skill, and with IT existing, it just goes up in value when units do have this. So let's look at his kit. Kit-wise, it's going to be a 570 lunge, not the greatest, but it's good. Still good, right? A beam is better, of course, but a lunge is good. It's still good. And then SA2 is going to be perfect, 960. SA3 is going to be the charge SA3, but his charge is not like full Getsu. It is not like an AoE distance. You have to actually go in there and let it loose. Overall, though, he's pretty risky when it comes to IT, but he could get the job done. He has a lunge and he has an SA3 where you have to actually go inside the mobs and let it loose. Not an AoE distance. Keep that in mind. So overall, good, but he's really, really risky. If he had a beam and AoE distant SA3, I would definitely put him higher on this list. But with that SA1 and the SA3, kind of playing with fire here, kind of funny when you think about it because he has fire on everything, right? Right? I probably didn't get it. But overall, I think he's a fantastic unit. I like him. I love him. I would like to get more dupes of him in the future whenever he does come back as fillers. So, continue on. Number 7 on the list is going to be Spear Society Ichigo. Yes, this Ichigo. I like his art. I like his design. But man, oh man. So, Hollow Killer. Weakening and burn everything. Phenomenal. That is absolutely beautiful. On top of that, he has a Bruiser 20%, Debil 5 seconds, Devastation 40%, Frenzy +2. Beautiful. Havoc 20%, Disabler versus Hollows. Very, very good. Beautiful. Sharpshooter, Splitter +1, and then he has the Speed Attribute, so ripper damage to status element afflicted enemies, 20%. Very, very good. He has a lot going for him. Now let's look at his innate skills. Innate skill wise, he is going to be having a Team Party recovery 20% stamina, dodge hollow damage, and then he has freeze duration 100%. He has a lot going for him. He really, really does. And that is why he is up here where he is. So let's look at his skills real quick. Skills, SA1 is going to be the 18% mag, very, very bad. SA2 is going to be the Tokinada pushback suction vortex, but it has a huge delay on it, which holds him back greatly. And then SA3 is going to be a full screen. Overall, though, he's alright. The SA1 is not ideal, but when it comes to a unit that has Disabler, and he has this SA1, he's actually going to be pretty damn good when it comes to IT, I think. Because when you have Frenzy +2 with a Disabler, right? Plus the 18% mag that's going to be hitting a lot. There's a good chance you will be proccing the burn and weakening on them, which is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be great. I wish he did get the spiritual pressure 80% boost. I wish he came out later, to be honest, because then he'll be absolutely broken. If you look at Noelle, right? Literally compare him to Noelle because they literally have the exact same kit and they both have Disablers. They're literally the exact same kit, but they're different, of course, right? We obviously see the power difference between this Ichigo and Noelle. So, Ichigo-wise, he's perfect. He's not perfect, but he has a lot going for him that actually carries him to this position. You know, being number 7 on the list. He has, this is the Disabler. He has double stats elements. He has the speed attribute, so ripper damage to status elements, 20% extra increase, right? On top of that, he does have Sharpshooter and Frenzy +2. Phenomenal. And then lastly, he does have the Team Party. Recover 20% stamina when you go into a new room. Don Kanoji has this skill as well. And I think the Tech or Hime that just recently came out, the Crystal one, has it as well. It's actually a pretty good skill when it comes to IT. Now, GQ-wise, he's not the greatest. He's probably going to do alright, just like everybody else. But the SAs he has it's definitely going to mess things up. ER, though, not the greatest yet again. Maybe because he's going to be proccing weakening and all that. But that's really about it. Good chance he procs weaken. And you do more damage. So he's going to be alright for ER. But when it comes to IT, I think that's where he's going to be shining because he has Disabler. The damage to status elements afflicted enemies. He has a recovery for the whole party. Frenzy +2 and Sharpshooter. He's going to be made for IT. He's literally made for IT. Overall, though, he's alright. He could have been much better. But the skills he does have literally carries him to this position. Easily. Easily. So, let's continue on. Number 7. Not number 7. Number 6 is going to be Swimsuit Retsu. Yeah, Swimsuit Retsu. Beautiful goddess. Let's look at her real quick. She has weakening on everything. She has a heal on her soul bomb, and on top of that, she has weakened defense on it as well. So, she has 12% recharge with a Soul Ripper Killer, Berserker, Bruiser, Havoc 20%, Debil 5 seconds, devastation 40%, frenzy +1, guard break, and a power link slot potions +5. Not looking at that skill though, just because it's not fair to really look at that skill when you're comparing units. So overall though, let's look at her kit. Kit-wise, she has a 40% mag, really good. I actually love this 40% mag. It's actually amazing. It's good. It's a good strong attack. SA2 is going to be the 2000 like beam, and then SA3 is going to be 1170. Now, innate skill, she has 100 chance to hit, dodge, and soul reap enemies, which is going to be very good for me, baby scrolls. And then paralyzed duration 100% and sprinter +1. So when it comes to IT, she's going to be good because she has the range. She has the 40%. She has the 3k beam, and she has the 1170. Range wise, she's set. She's going to be very good in IT, especially because she has guard break. On top of that, she has weakening. On top of that, she heals on her soul bomb, which is going to be amazing when your teammates get hit. Overall though, she's a good unit. Now let's look at GQ. GQ, she'll be very good because she has weakening on everything, and she has weakened defense on her soul bomb. And then if you make her T15, you can get her double weakened defense. On top of that, make her T20, you get her full stamp and double weakened defense. That's going to be absolutely crazy. She's going to be pretty damn good. And then obviously when it comes to epic raids, since she has inbuilt weakened defense already, she's going to be phenomenal, which means everyone's going to be doing more damage with weakening on them. It's great. She's great all around. Have no complaints about it. I do wish her kit was better. I would have preferred a 3k beam into a 960, but a 40% into a 3k beam is fine, in my opinion. It's alright. I like it. It's good. It's good. So, next, that's pretty much Red 2 in a nutshell. Let's continue on. Next, it is going to be number 5. Number 5 is going to be 1000-year Bloodwork Isshin. Now, Isshin is in a very tight race with Tendro. I'm going to say that right now. Tendro is going to be 4th place. I will say this right now, just so I can, we'll talk about it, right? We're going to be comparing them two together because they're very similar. So, Tendro with a Hollow Killer with burn on everything. He has a speed attribute, Captain, strong attack damage 20%, very nice skill. With a Berserker 20%, so technically he has 40% Berserker because it does count for himself. 20% Bruiser, 20% Havoc, to build 2 seconds, Devastation 40%, Frenzy +1, and Sprinter +1. So, on top of that, his innate skills is going to be 100 chance to hit dodging enemies, or dodging hollows, sorry. Poison duration 100%. Kit-wise, he has a perfect kit. He has a 3k beam, 960, and a 1200. So, overall, kit-wise, he's perfect. Now let's compare him to Tendro. Tendro has the exact same thing. Him and Tendro are very close in terms of power level. They both have 40% Berserker, and they both have, they both have 20% Berserker, and they both have the speed attribute strong attack damage buff. But for Isshin, it is going to be the Captain, while as Tendro has Soul Reapers. So now, this is where the differences are going to be. Why I put Tendro over Isshin is because Tendro has, I'm so sorry, Tendro has Paralyze, Sprinter +2, and he has Revive on his special. Those are the main, that's the little marginal differences that I would put Tendro ahead. But I wouldn't be surprised if you say Isshin is better just because the perfect kit. They're literally either or. They're little slightly differences. This is just what I prefer. I do think Tendro is going to be better just because of him being, Paralyzed being much better in IT. He has a Revive on special, which is going to be very good in IT. And on top of it, he has Sprinter +2 to dodge around. Now, those are going to be the marginal differences. Just want to say that right now before I do get comments saying, oh, why is Isshin or Tendro? Why is Tendro ahead of Isshin? Isshin is better, yada. Trust me, it's very little marginal differences. I don't blame you if you say Isshin is better. The differences are just very marginal, and I just prefer the Paralyzed, Sprinter +2, and Revive on special. Don't get me wrong, they're both perfect units. I like them a lot. So now we're going to talk about Tendro a little bit. Number 4 obviously is going to be Tendro. Talk about it a little bit. Let's talk about his kit specifically. Kit-wise, he has a 570 lunge, a 3k beam, SA2, and then a 1170 SA3. Kit-wise, could have been better, but at least he has a Revive on his special to make up with his lunge. Overall, though, I do not mind the SA2. SA2 is fine in my opinion. I do not mind it being a beam. SA1 is the only problem I have because it is a lunge, but like I said, since he has a Revive on his special, it's kind of fine because he's basically, even if he goes in and gets hit, at least he revives, right? More than likely, at least he revives. So let's talk about him real quick, just like I said. He has Soul Reaper strong attack damage 20%, just like Isshin, but for Tendro, it is going to be Soul Reapers, whereas Isshin is going to be Captains. 20% Berserker, 20% Bruiser, Havoc 20% to build 5 seconds, Devastation 40%, and Sprinter +2. No innate skills, but overall, I already talked about Tendro versus Isshin. Very marginal differences. When it comes to IT, though, I just prefer Tendro a little bit more than Isshin. They both do the same in Epic Raids. They both do the same inside GQ. They're both alright in GQ. Epic Raids though, probably want to give it to Tendro mainly just because he does have Revive on his special, and if people get hit by something inside Epic Raids, that's also going to be why I do value him a little bit more, because if people die, they could come back inside Epic Raids, which is going to be great. So overall though, like I said, the differences are very, very small. I don't blame if you put Ishin over Tendro. I just prefer to Paralyze and Revive and Spread +2. That's really about it. It's my opinion. Like I said, they're very, very good, both of them, and they're very, very small differences. So overall, that's pretty much Tendro and Ishin in a nutshell. I love them both. I would love to get them 5-5 eventually, but God knows when that happens. So let's continue on. So number 3, it is going to be Jishiro. Ah, God, the best NAD unit in the game, in my opinion. So let's talk about him. So he has a team party speed attribute, captain, normal attack damage 20% on top of his length 20%, so that is 40% bruiser already. And then he has an extra 40% bruiser on himself as well. So technically, he has 80% bruiser already, which is absolutely crazy. He has 30% berserker, the build 2 seconds, enhancer 10 seconds, flurry +1, guard break, multi-barrier +2, and poise. Beautiful. He has drain on everything. He has a boost barrier SA2. Bro, he's absolutely perfect for a NAD unit, and with the drain, he's literally unkillable. You can literally auto IT with this Jishiro. Not specifically this IT, because they do have killer on him, but when they do not have killer on Jishiro, you could auto with Jishiro if you want to. But with the release of Noelle, the amount of Jishiro lobbies have decreased, so if you want to farm Jishiro lobbies, it's probably going to have to be with your friends, because more than likely every single lobby moving forward are just going to be asking for Noelles, right? Every time I've looked for a speed only lobby, when I'm by myself farming, I literally only see Noelles only, or I'll carry Noelles. That's literally all I'm seeing. Not really seeing any more auto Jishiro runs. That's just how it is. Sadly, just because of that super link slot skills, you know, that's just how things are, right? So, kit-wise, let's talk about it. Don't really have to, but let's talk about it. 18% mag, very, very good when it comes to a NAD unit because it does push him back. And then SA2 is going to be the Tokidata pushback attack, which is good as well. And then he has a full screen SA3. Overall, though, that's Jishiro in a nutshell. He has boost, barrier, with 80% berserker, with drain on everything, with 5 shields to himself, 3 shields to his allies. He's absolutely perfect when it comes to epic raids. He's perfect when it comes to GQ. He's perfect when it comes to IT. He's perfect. He's literally perfect all around. Have no complaints about him. Best NAD unit in the game, hands down. And I am glad we actually have a good Jishiro in the game. Next, number 2. Number 2 is going to be 5th anniversary Byakuya. No surprise with with Noelle existing, right? So let's talk about Byakuya. He has a Soul Reaper Hollow Killer. No stats elements. He has 40% Berserker, Bombardment, 40% Bruiser, Frenzy +1, Havoc 20%, Sharpshooter, and Sprinter +1. Let's talk about him real quick. No innate skills was before his time. And then let's look at his skills real quick. SA1 is going to be 18% mag, not that great. SA2 is going to be the 960 into Homing Vortex, the first of its kind. Literally, he was the first unit with this skill, and it's the best SA2 in the game. SA3 is going to be a 1200 into an 810. Overall, though, he's good. He's still good to this day. I don't want to say he's perfect because there are some problems with him nowadays. That's just because the meta is changing. But he is, on paper, he's perfect. He's perfect, right? You can use him in 4 weeks of GQ. He is very, very good in IT still, but he is falling off because of Ultra IT, where if you don't have stats elements, it's kind of it's not the greatest anymore, right? If you don't have stats elements, it's not that great, but with his crowd control, he's still going to be a fantastic unit in IT. Overall, though, I think this Byakuya is still very, very good. In epic raids as well, he's alright. It's not the greatest, but he does have bombardment. If you give him weekend defense, he's going to be alright. He's going to be pretty good. And then that's pretty much it. Why I do think he's ahead of Jishiro, because he does work in 4 weeks of GQ, and that is a lot. 4 weeks of GQ in one unit, that is very, very good. And then IT, he's still usable, just not the greatest. He's still usable. He does have the SA2, which the SA2 has a lot of crowd control. Overall though, that's pretty much Byakuya in a nutshell. Now, let's talk about number 1. Number 1, Noelle. Oof, baby girl. I'm so sad. There's so many. I did like over 70 steps. Got her 1-5. That's absolutely tragic. Alright, so she has a double killer. She has a hollow no affiliation. Wish it was a wrong card. If it was a wrong card killer, beautiful. But I guess they're saving the wrong card. They're saving the speed of wrong card killer for somebody. So she has weakening on everything, revive on her special. She has berserker 40% bombardment, very, very good. 20% bruises to build 5 seconds, frenzy +1, increased stats element chance against power attribute hollows / no affiliation enemies. So she has disabler versus hollow and no affiliation, broken already. On top of that, she has the status element spiritual measure boost 80%. She's so good. She's so good. And then on top of that, she has the Power Link slot and the Super Power Link slot potion skills. Not looking at those skills though specifically just because it's just not fair, right? But overall, taking those skills off of her, she is still the best speed unit in the game. Not only does she have Disabler versus the 2 killers she has, she also has an 80% spiritual pressure boost with weakening on everything. On top of that, she has 40% Berserker with bombardment. She's absolutely crazy. So if you don't know, when Noelle pops her soul bomb, she automatically gets the 80% spiritual pressure boost. You are literally able to go into GQ with this Noelle, a 4-5 Noelle to be exact, and she nukes harder than a 5-5 art book Ichigo. Keep that in mind. That is absolutely crazy because his 80% spiritual pressure boost is so crazy. It's so good. It's really, really good. Now, let's look at her kit. Like we talked about earlier, her and Ichigo have the same exact kit, but obviously you do see the clear differences in why she's better than Ichigo. So she has 18% mag, she has a 750 token out pushback attack, and then she has a Beyond Full Scream. SA3, what carries her so hard is going to be the 80% spiritual pressure boost with the double disablers and weakening and bombardment is literally what's going to be carrying her so hard. She also does have guard break, having 20% sprint plus 1 as her innate skills. I think I forgot Ishin's innate skill, but I think it's just resistance. I'm so sorry for mentioning it now. But Noelle is absolutely perfect. Her kit is whatever. It's not the greatest. Could have been much better, but for what they are trying to do with this unit, such as having Disabler, I do not mind the SA1 or SA2 because those hit a lot, and that means she's going to be proccing it. And also, since those SAs hit a lot, it also gives her a chance to proc her 80% spiritual pressure boost. So the 18% mag and the token out of pushback attack are not the worst in her case. Since she has those two skills, the 80% spiritual pressure boost and Disabler, that is absolutely crazy. So moving forward, I do hope K-Lab gives units who have 18% mag, specifically, give them the 80% spiritual pressure boost, because at that point, it doesn't even matter. The SA1 does not matter how bad it is, because once you get that 80% spiritual pressure boost, you are set. Overall though, she's a perfect unit. You can use her in 4 weeks of GQ. You can use her, she's literally going to be the best unit in IT. She's going to be the best unit in GQ. And she's going to be the best unit in Epic Raids. She's absolutely crazy. There's nothing wrong with her. She's perfect. Yes, you could argue about her kit, but like I said, with how her kit is built, it works for her because she has this spiritual pressure 80% boost, which is what you want. You want more hits on your strong attack to proc the 80% spiritual pressure boost, which is phenomenal. Overall though, I think she's perfect. She's literally great. I have no complaints about her. But overall though, fantastic unit. I don't blame you. If you want to use somebody else, but kit-wise, overall though, she's just superior to everybody else. It's so stupid. Her damage output is too crazy. But overall though, that is going to be the list for the speed. Like I said though, pretty much going to be the list. It's going to be the last list until next year. I don't plan to make another another attribute tier list for a while. Maybe I do 1,000-year Bloodwork lists and all that other good stuff like Resurrections as well. But we'll think about that later on. But overall though, this is going to be it. I'll see you guys next year in terms of the tier lists, just because I do want to wait an entire year. It's more fun this way, waiting an entire year to see how the list does change. Overall though, I hope speed gets some love, because I do think speed is very, very lacking with mind and with heart as well. I already said my opinions about those other attributes. They're very, very weak compared when you look at tech and power. Tech and power are absolutely stacked, so we'll see what happens in 2022. Other than that though, thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you guys for the support. And yeah, you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys later on. Peace out.